I think this is too low. Okay, we are set to go. Hello, good afternoon. How are you today? Okay, are we good? I think so. I'm playing a balancing act here today because I'm picking a different place and the whole thing. Okay, so let's do this. I have a meaning I want to share with you here, so I don't want that to go off. Okay, so good afternoon once again. This is Coach Kemi, CEO and founder of How to Think Global Consulting Empire. I hope you're building an empire because I am. Okay, so today I'm looking to change the name of my lives to what I used to do before. I called it 3T's TV, Thought Transformation TV. Or we could call it Transform Your Life TV. I don't know, which do you prefer? Or How to Think to Win TV. Maybe that is actually a better one, How to Think to Win. Anywho, as I was saying, I am Coach Kemi, CEO and founder of How to Think Global Consulting Empire. And today, How to Think is live now. It's telling me it's live. I've never seen that before. Today, I want to share with you why thinking is more important. Hello, Pastor Hepzibah. Thank you for joining me. I want to share with you why thinking is more important than your mindset. Now, there's something I call the 5 fundamentals of how to think to win, and I don't think I can share it enough. It is the basis. I've actually done a video series on it, and there's a second one that has a video series, the basics of thinking. They are paramount to actually, they are paramount to actually understanding why your thinking is more important than your mindset. Your thinking is more important than your mindset. Before I share those fundamentals with you, because we're only going to be together for 15 minutes, let me share with you pertinent truths that you need to know. They are pertinent. They are important. Hi, Dion. Number 1, you are in control of your thoughts. You. Something doesn't come and make you think a particular way. Someone doesn't say something. You are in complete control. If you are not, then you are a zombie or you are a puppet on a string and something is swinging you about. Do this, do that. You are therefore not in control. Since you're not a zombie and you're not a puppet, number 1, pertinent information, pertinent truth you must know to understand that your thinking is more important than your mindset is that you are in control of your thoughts. Number 2, pertinent truth you must know is your thoughts are seeds. Your mind is not. Your thoughts are seeds. Your mind is not. Seed thoughts, and I'm sure you've heard about that. If you haven't, you need to go and get the book. You can easily download it for free, the small book by James Allen entitled As a Man Thinketh. You need to get that book. That book, you cannot finish reading it. It's short, you can read it in less than 30 minutes, but you cannot finish reading it, I promise you. Your thoughts are seeds, your mind is not. Your thoughts are seeds, your mind is not. Let me share with you something that is in that book. Every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the mind and to take root there. Because you can pluck out a seed from the soil if you don't want it there. You can say, no, I'm not having that. Same with your thoughts. No, I am not thinking that way. But you need to decide on what you're going to think on. You can't just say, I'm not thinking that way. I promise you, if you remove your corn seed from the soil, weed, not wheat, weeds, weed, will grow. Grass, weeds. Don't let weeds grow on the ground of your mind just because I'm not thinking this anymore. if you want to get to a senior position in the corporate space, you need to plant the right seeds, thought seeds that you want in there. Okay? So, every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the mind and to take root there produces its own. You cannot plant orange seeds and say apple root fruits will grow. It's never going to happen. And think about it. The number of thoughts you've had and you're thinking a different fruit will show up. It won't. It's what you think that will grow. Blossoming produces its own, blossoming sooner or later into act. So as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That's principle one. Principles don't care about you. Principles don't love you. Principles don't feel sorry for you if you don't know about them. That I just quoted to you is a principle, albeit biblical. For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. It's not going to change. The way you think is the way you are. And that's a very deep sentence. So you see, it's not just talking about your identity, what you do, where you go, how you eat it. It's talking about who you are in its completeness, intricately, sinew connected to sinew, bone to bone. Do you know your thoughts affect your health? Your thoughts affect your mental health. In fact, that is why one of the major reasons I do what I do, because if you are mentally messed up, who you are is mentally messed up. Your spirit is a gunner, your soul, and forget your soul, because that's where your thinking happens, and your body will be sick. One of my clients just sent me a message because I wondered where she'd been. I said, oh, I'm just totally overwhelmed. Oh, I'm busy here, I'm busy there. I'm thinking, oh God, she needs some serious help. Serious help. Where do I start? So it's how she's thinking that has put her into a state of overwhelm. Blossoming sooner or later, let me start again. Every thought seed sown or allowed to fall into the ground and to take root there, notice, produces its own, blossoming sooner or later into act. You will do it. So as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So your thoughts become the words you speak because they are in your heart. Blossoming sooner or later into act and bearing its own fruitage of opportunity and circumstance. Enough of saying if God, I used to say it, I still said it up till last week, 2 weeks ago. Or if I was supposed to be there, God would have made sure. You are in control. If God was in control, everything would be perfect. Everything will be perfect. God is only in control of what you allow him to be in control of. God is only in control of what you believe he says he can and will do for you. The rest is up to you, down to you, sideways to you. How you think is paramount to this. Good thoughts bear good fruit and bad thoughts bear bad fruit. Not rocket science. So it's always a wonder why we think a certain way and we expect it to come out different from how we think. That's not going to happen. So your thoughts are seeds, your mind isn't. That's why your thinking is more important than your mindset. Because your thoughts determine the soil, the mind, the ground. Do you know if you are into farming or of any kind, and if you did botany, and even this was in secondary school, I was taught this. If you plant a particular kind of seed on the soil takes on the characteristic of that seed. So if you want to plant different kind of seeds, so if you plant orange seeds and apple seeds on a ground over a couple of years or just harvest period, over a period of farming, so you farm in winter, you have you sow in summer and you harvest in, no, it's the other way around. One way or the other. I don't know this farming thing too well. But when you sow, you reap. If you keep sowing the same kind of seeds, the soil takes on, your mind is set with those thoughts. If you keep thinking a particular way, but now you want to change it, you want to renew your mind so that you can get to that senior position that you're thinking of, that you desire. You've got to now let the ground lie fallow. Meaning you just take care of the soil, you change it, you begin to put manure and you change it so that the soil now begins to create the mindset. It begins to set with a different mind that it's something else is coming. Because if you just plant yam, which is a runner plant, in it, it will not be able to handle it. It will not be able to handle, because the soil has taken on a different mindset, because the soil is your mind, the mind is your soil. So, and that takes a while. So you can see there is a process. You don't just start planting yam after you've harvested oranges. No, you've got to change the mindset of the soil by feeding it with different thoughts, meaning feeding you different kinds of seeds that will bring it back to normal, so that you can plant the right things, the new plant. So remember, you want to change how you think. That's called renewing the mind. I'm sweating. It's that age. You know, that age. We've got to do something about it. Okay, the third pertinent truth you need to know is your mind is ground and will bear fruit of the seeds that you plant in it. I just said that in so many ways. Your mind is ground, it is soil, and it will bear the fruit of the seeds that you plant in it. What seed thoughts are you planting in your mind? Don't complain when you get the harvest. Don't complain when you get the harvest. If you want a different harvest, plant different seeds. That, my dear people, is not rocket science. If you keep thinking, well, the senior executives in my organization don't like me, they will not like you. But if you begin to think offensively, like you're on the offensive, you're not on the defensive. They love me. And you go into their space and you begin to serve in your business. Thank you, Lynn, for that call out on your stream. And in your business, you say, you know what? I can make 5K this month if I jolly well want. What are the things I need to do? And you move forward. Well, I need to hire Lynn Ponaro. Oh, yes, that's where I need to go. Okay, that's who I need to speak to. And I need to do what she tells me to do. Not what I think will happen. Not what I think works. What she tells me to do. And if you're a Christian like I am, I need to pray and get counsel from God and say, okay, God, what next? Where do I go? And you do exactly that. You will make 5K. As long as you keep thinking that way, is whatever seed thoughts. So quickly, what are the 5 fundamentals of how to think to win? The first, before I tell you the fundamentals, there is a hub or case in which these fundamentals exist. And that case is called commitment. Commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, or whatever it is. The state, commitment is a state. When you say, oh, it's your state of mind, that's why you did that. Commitment is also a state. It's also a quality. This is a dictionary meaning of being dedicated to a cause. You see, those words are powerful. It's a state, it's a quality, and it's dedication to a cause or an activity. So you need to be committed. Committed. You need to be committed to learning how to think to win, because thought transformation does not just happen. There must be a commitment to it so that you can do all that you need to do. And so the 5 fundamentals exist inside this little case. Very hard shell called commitment. Number 1, you must be ready. Don't come to me and say, oh yeah, I want to get senior position. We're going to be working about everything starts with your thinking. Whatever you believe, it's your thinking that will set your mind. It's not your mindset, because how did your mind get set? Something set it. It's your thoughts. And for that, you are responsible. For that, you are responsible. And you alone are responsible for the thoughts that you harbor. No one else is. So, number 1, be ready. Number 1 fundamental, be ready. Be ready here. Be ready. If you're not ready, don't say you're doing it. Otherwise, you're going to fall off and you're going to get even more frustrated than when you started. Number 2, there's a price to pay. There is money, price. There is time, price. There is work, price. There is changing connections price. There is making new connections, that's a price. There is buying new things, that's a price. There is getting used to stuff. If you are not ready, don't call me. You've got to be ready. And of course, each one, I can talk about each one extensively, but not in this stream. Number 3, take responsibility. Take responsibility for where you are. You are responsible for where you are today. That was one of the hardest things for me to do. And you're responsible for where you are going. You are responsible. No one else is. You are responsible. So don't pass the buck. Don't pass the buck. Number 4, make a decision. Yep, this is where I want to go. These are the things I need to do, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get there. You can't be on the fence. Well, it will work, it won't work. Maybe I should start. That was how I used to be. I would start, then stop, then start something else, then stop, then do something new, then stop. And I'm a fast mover. I just keep doing, and nothing. I was indecisive. Indecision is a decision. I'm sure you know that. And finally, take action. You've got to do the work. There is work to do. Work. W-O-R-K. Do the work. It is work. You're going to sweat a bit, not for long, if you get wise and if you get understanding. But there is work to do. Okay, that's me done. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want me to remind you about the replay, please just write reminder in the comments and I would definitely remind you. God bless you. God keep you. And I am Coach Kemi, CEO and founder of How to Think Global Consulting Empire. Thank you for joining me. Dion Hepzibah-Lynn. You are responsible for where you are and where you are going. Tell me about it. Yeah. Okay then. Yep. Do the work. Commit. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.